of people activity. Oh, well, the first four, I paraphrase, the first four came off of my progenitors, you might say father, off of his tombstone. I think he had industry, the law, religion, and one other that I sometimes forget. But it was four of them. He had four categories there. And I know that industry was one. I changed the word industry to economics. But I do remember he had religion and law. Now, this was on his tombstone. If I ever can find his tombstone again, I mean, that's the only way that somebody tells me where it is. Because the graveyard where he was buried, I think, has been finally gone to seed, you might say. And a lot of the tombstones have been misplaced and all like that. But I remember after he passed, this was on his tombstone, and he had also talked to me about it. He called it the Four Principles of Life. That's how he named it. But later on, I applied it under economics, religion, law, and then I put them in alphabetical order, and I came up with 9 categories. Some people said I should have added health, but I say that if you are doing what you should do in those 9, you have health, because health means a whole number of things. There are a lot of things connected with your health. You have to have so-called economic health, educational health, legal health, political health, religious health. See, it all comes under health because you are healing. You know, that's what health, the base word for health is healing. So you're doing compensatory work, you're doing repair work. So that's how those 9 areas were basically formed. I just put them in alphabetical order. I came up with 9. I was thinking about adding some more, but then I didn't want to just keep adding and adding and adding. I thought that the 9 would work, and so far I think they do. They cover just about everything that everybody is doing, one or more of. They're operating in one or more of those areas of activity somewhere on the planet or in outer space or wherever they happen to be. That's why I call it the 9 areas of people activity. Everybody's engaged in one or more of those areas, and all of these areas are interactive. What happens in the field of religion affects what happens in the field of law. What happens in the field of law affects what happens in the area of politics. What happens in the area of politics will affect what happens in the area of war. What happens in the area of war will affect what happens in the area of education, and on and on and on. All of the areas of activity, just like parts of a person's body, one interacts with the other. The heart is not separate from the kidneys. I mean, they're 2 different organs, but they have to work somewhat in concert with one another in order for the body to work. When you start getting one thing out of order, then other things start breaking down too. It's the same way with the 9 areas of activity. The white supremacists understand this. This is why they will get control of one area of activity among a tribe of people, like their laws, or like their politics, or like their religion, or like their sexual activity. All they need is control of one area. Because once they get control of one area, they'll get control of the rest of the areas. It'll be easier because all of them are connected. That's the logic, and that's what the evidence has shown.